Hello, in this video I'm going to show you how to do a cable over 2 stitches with a left twist and with a right twist using your Gallery London S-Loom. Now you can kind of see, I'll hold it up, here is the swatch I've been working on. I've got it where I just did 3 rows in between with a little bit more. This is with the left twist and the right twist is up here. But first, to get this set up to do, if you can add this into any project. Really cute to do along the edges of a blanket. You ever doing a hat? You can do it in a hat. But what you want to do is you want to use your purl and your true knit, which the true knit stitch you can replace for the E-wrap, U-stitch, or the flat stitch. Any of those you can replace the true knit, but I'm going to be showing this with the true knit stitch. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pegs cast on. The first 3 and the last 3 I will purl. These middle 2 I'm going to knit, because these 2 are the 2 that are creating the 2-stitch cable. So we're going to purl, purl, knit. If you are unfamiliar with the purl stitch and the knit stitch, there are separate videos that will go over in a lot more detail how to do the knit and the purl stitches. Oops. There you go, those. So you will purl 3, knit 2, purl 3. Come back, you'll do the same. You want to, when you get started, you want to set it up with a few rows. That's how it looks before you start doing your cable. So you have a flat spot, and then this middle part will be sticking up, will be bubbled up, and then the next will be flat. Now if you're doing this in a whole pattern, you can take and do the whole project purled with your cables going, or you can do, 3 stitches on either side and then go back to your E-wrap, knit stitch, whatever the rest of your project is. So you want to start with, your cast on of choice, and then if you're just doing a little swatch like this just to practice, do purl 3, knit 2, purl 3. You want to do 3 or 4 rows to get started. So get those done, and then I'll come back and show you how to do. So we've done a few rows of the initial pattern just to get it all set up. Now we're going to go back. We're going to start our cables. So I'm doing a purl stitch, a purl stitch. Now what we're going to do is we are going to do a left twist. These 2 pegs in the middle that are cabled, we'll call this peg 1 and this peg 2. So to do this, we're going to skip peg 1 and knit peg 2. So we'll skip peg 1, put the yarn behind. We're going to knit peg 2. We're actually going to take it off the loom. If you have a cable tool, you can cable stitch holder or whatever you want to call them, you can just put it on that. But with this loom, you can actually just take and stick it over there and kind of forget about it. Because what you're going to do now, you're going to take the loop from peg 1 and move it to peg 2. So we're going to take this off peg 1, stretch it over. You want to watch your tension, because if it's too tight, you might break a peg. But yes, we moved the stitch from peg 1 to peg 2. Now we will take this loop and place it on peg 1. Then you tighten it up. Your yarn is coming from in between peg 1 and peg 2. So you'll go ahead and you'll knit peg 2. And and okay, you'll knit peg 2, and then you'll just go back to your pattern. Now you will want to do a few rows, and then I'll show you how to do the cable coming from the opposite direction. So if you want to, take and knit, because if I worked 3 rows, so if I went 1, 2, 3 and did another cable, it's going to turn out like this, which it just looks like they're both twisted together. But I want to do it with a little bit more space in between. So we will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So do 6 rows of that initial purl 3, knit 2, purl 3. And then I'll show you how to do the left facing cable coming in the opposite direction. Your 6 rows are done. Now I want to show you how to do the left twist coming from this direction and over, which we'll go ahead and we'll knit. Now what we will want to do, we want to take the loop from peg 2 and go ahead and put it on the needle and just kind of throw that back there. Then we're going to knit peg 1. We're going to knit peg 1 and move it to peg 2. Then you will take that loop back here and put it on peg 1. Alright, see, this one is a little harder to do. You got to get it around the whole head of the peg. There we go. Then your yarn is still coming from in between, and we're going down this way, so we will knit peg 1. We will knit peg 1 and then continue down to the end. So that is how you do the left decrease for cables. Just the big difference is you just however many rows you do in between. Now for the right decrease, go ahead and do 5 rows. Well, go ahead and do another 6 rows, and then I will show you the right, no, I keep saying decrease, the right twist. Do a right twist. What we're going to do is how when we did the left twist, we took peg 2 off first. For the right twist, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to take peg 1 off first. And since we are going towards it, we know that it will go off before we knit it. So we will take it, oops, go ahead and take it off and put it on your tool. Okay, so we are purling peg 2, peg 3. What we're going to do is when we get to the empty peg, you put your yarn behind it. Then you are going to knit the next peg, which is peg 2. Take it off, put it on peg 1, and tighten it up. Now you don't want to tighten it too tight. Nobody likes dealing with broken pegs. And now we can take the loop off the tool that's holding it and put it on peg 2. Since we are going in this direction, we will go ahead and knit. Yes. Go ahead and knit peg 2. And purl. Oops. Purl the rest down to the end. And then I'm going to do 6 rows in between. Then I will show you how to do a right twist coming from this direction down. Alright, now to do the right twist coming from the opposite direction. So we will purl our first 2. Then what we're going to do is we are going to skip peg 2 of the, when I say 1 and 2, that's just the 2 that we are cabling with. We are going to knit peg 1, take it off, just do like you did, just hook it on any of those pegs. Then we will take peg 2, move it to peg 1, and then take that loop, put it on peg 2, tighten it. You don't want to get it too tight, but you still want it kind of tight. Alright, then we will just knit peg 1, and then just go to the end of the row. Alright, so I just showed you how to do a left twist and a right twist coming from either direction for a 2-stitch cable. I'm going to cast this off and then I'll show you up close what each of these look like. Okay, so here is our swatch. And you can see this was our right twist. It is going to the right. Got it? You can see there's really not a difference. The only difference you'll notice, like, see kind of like the hole here? That was coming from the one direction. Coming from the other direction, the hole is right here. So it's really preference, you know, which way you like to do it. And now we got our left twist. There's a left twist. And then it goes back to a right twist. And then we're back to our left twist. Now these ones down here, these were left twist. But I only did 3 rows in between them. So see how it looks like they're twisted real tight? Or you can do 5 rows, or up here I did 6 rows. So you can choose to do as many as you want, as many rows in between your twist as you want. One thing I do suggest though is whether you're doing a left twist or a right twist, always do the twist when you're going in the same direction. Because see here, look at these ones all close together. You see all the kind of holes are on the same side. So it just makes it look a little more symmetrical, I think. And again, this is great to add in blankets. Anytime you use a cable, you want to do like a purl stitch on both sides of it so that it stands out. Because look at this flat, how much that bubbles up and stands out. I suggest at least 3 stitches on both sides, and then you can go back to your regular stitch, and then you'll have kind of like this indent with the design in it. Alright, so there you go. That's how you do a left twist and a right twist with cabling over 2 stitches. Any questions or comments, please leave in the comments section below. Or you can email me. My email is in the description below as well. Thank you again for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.